Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Alexa, and in today's video I thought it would be fun to try and read free Kindle books for a week. Now there are quite a few ways to get free books on your Kindle, such as the Libby app, a Kindle Unlimited subscription, or an Amazon Prime subscription. But today we are not using any of those. We are only getting books that are 100% free from Amazon with no subscriptions. This might come as a shock if you didn't already know this, but yes, Amazon does have a small selection of books available for download on your Kindle. A lot of the books that are available for free on Amazon definitely look like they should be free. In fact, a lot of them look like books that I should be getting paid to read. So yeah, it's slim pickings, but I spent hours, and I mean hours, scouring the Amazon website for a handful of books that I could read for this video. So let me show you guys what I found. I will say that a lot of the free books available on Amazon do change frequently, so I'm not sure when I post this video if these will still be available for free, but if not, there will be other books available for free in their place. So you really just have to be on top of things to find anything good on there for free, but I think I found some pretty decent looking books. Normally for a reading vlog, I would read 3 books in a week, but I could only find 2 books that looked tolerable enough to read, so we're just gonna do 2 for this video. The first book I found is called A Shot in the Bark by C.A. Newsome. This is a book series. It's called the Leah Anderson Dog Park Mysteries, and this is book 1. The little header above the synopsis says, "A grieving artist, a smitten detective, a devious killer. You never know who you'll meet at the dog park." So the summary of this story is we are basically following Leah Anderson. Her deadbeat boyfriend is no longer alive, and this event draws the attention of a local detective. So the detective decides to adopt the now not alive boyfriend's dog to infiltrate the dog park squad to try and get to the bottom of this situation. It says, if you like believable characters, a multi-layered plot, and a compelling sense of humor with your intrigue, pick up this can't put down whodunit for a romp through the dog park with Leah and the gang. This was published November 18th, 2013, and it is 318 pages. Honestly, in my opinion, the cover of this book is a massive eyesore, but I think the summary of the book sounds interesting and fun, so hopefully this will be a good one. The other book I grabbed for free is called The Millionaire's Marriage Proposal by Joanne Walsh, and this is also part of a series called The Greek Island Millionaires, but this is the 3rd book, but I'm pretty sure that these are interconnected standalone books, so I think you can read them a tad bit out of order and still get the gist of the story. This header above the summary says, can they forgive their past to find a future together? So essentially we're following our main character, Sally, and she had an impulsive wedding which turned out to be a disaster, but she refuses to own up to her mistakes. When her husband unexpectedly passes away, she struggles to keep his secrets hidden and the family business afloat as his debts pile up. She is about to lose everything until the one man she's always loved offers to help. It says, can she accept when he's already broken her heart once? Dimitri longs to marry and build a family, except he's still in love with the one woman who got away. Now that Sally is single again, does he dare try his luck? This book is a lot newer. It was published August 26th, 2021, and it's 280 pages. So today is Sunday. I might get started on this book tonight just to get a little head start, but I will officially begin this reading vlog tomorrow. I'll be updating you guys throughout the week with my thoughts on these books, and we will know if these free Kindle books are worth your time. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow for the official start of this reading vlog. All right, happy Monday. I need to update you guys on what I read yesterday. I read up to page 56 of the Millionaire's Marriage Proposal by Joanne Walsh. I feel like at this point we have pretty much experienced everything that the synopsis describes. We have our main character Sally, who married this guy, and his gambling problem has now become her problem because they have a lot of debt. The husband is no longer in the picture anymore, and she has been in love with her former husband's best friend for as long as they can remember, essentially. Dimitri is trying to shoot his, not first, but second shot with Sally. They have kind of a past together, but things didn't work out, and Sally married his best friend, but now, like I said, he's not in the picture, so they're running it back. So to be honest, at this point, I don't really know where the book is going to go, because I feel like it has moved so fast to the point where I'm like, I feel like I already know everything that I need to know, but it moved so fast that I'm not connected to any of the characters necessarily. So yeah, I don't know what else this book necessarily has in store plot-wise. The writing just doesn't really feel like it's meant for an adult romance novel. It kind of feels like it's meant for a children's story, perhaps, but obviously it's not content for children, so it's just very, I don't know, I guess off-putting, because the writing feels very juvenile, but you're not reading about anything juvenile, so it just doesn't translate well. So those are my thoughts at this point. I'm going to read a little bit more, and then I will give you guys another update. Hopefully the book gets better, but my hopes are not high, I will be honest. Let's keep reading. All right, I've read up to page 95, which is chapter 12, and this book is paining me. So this whole book is following Sally and Dimitri's romantic journey, and in the very beginning of the book, we kind of got this hint that they have had some sort of past together. Things didn't work out, and they're trying it again. And I feel like with a situation like that, I should be feeling a lot of emotions and feelings and tension, especially with all the built up angst and resentment that I'm being told that these two characters have towards each other. But I genuinely feel nothing for these characters. I've never read a book where I'm so aware that it is literally just words on paper, or I guess in this case, words on a screen, but you get the point. It feels like I'm reading about two inanimate objects having an interaction, and even saying that, I feel like there are probably situations where two inanimate objects having an interaction would be more emotionally charged than this is. The dialogue is like just getting downright painful to read. I'm also not someone who really minds miscommunication that much, but the miscommunication between these two is, again, just painful. Picture this. Dimitri is supposed to be in love with Sally, but he's constantly caught flirting with this girl who he has a business relationship with. She's basically the girl that he told Sally she doesn't have to worry about. But like I said, he's constantly caught flirting with her. And then Dimitri complains that he feels like Sally doesn't feel the same way about him that he does about her. Like, bro, maybe stop flirting with other girls. After all of that miscommunication, Dimitri and Sally ended up kissing, and it was followed by more miscommunication. And I'm just like really trying to find a reason to root for these two, because there are pretty much no redeeming qualities at this point. But I'm trying really hard to push through this book for you guys. I am not entertained, that's for sure, but I really hope you are. I don't know if I can honestly read any more of this book today, so I may just have to put it down for now and come back tomorrow with fresh eyes. With that being said, we will talk more tomorrow. Okay, today is Tuesday, and I am now on page 176 of the Millionaire's Marriage Proposal. First of all, I know I'm sitting like in the exact same spot that I was sitting in yesterday, but there's just really good lighting right here. So also, my Kindle has been naked the last few days because I'm in the middle of filming another video. I don't know if that one's going up before or after this video, but yeah. Anyways, this book is not getting any better. There's like another kissing scene, and the descriptions of the kiss and the romance made me want to crawl out of my skin. I'm finding it really difficult to find anything like cute about this romance. Also, I know yesterday I was saying that we have basically unfolded the entire plot, but the one thing that I forgot that I hadn't figured out yet was why Sally so hastily married Dimitri's best friend. And apparently the reason is that Sally thought Dimitri and her were going to be a thing, but she went to an olive shop and saw Dimitri talking to a girl, which apparently she interpreted as flirting with this girl, and she just went ahead and assumed that they were together and that he hated her. So based off of that assumption, she went ahead and threw their entire friendship and potential of a relationship in the trash, and then married his best friend because she was so upset that she thought that he was with someone when she wanted to be with him. So this is thankfully a very short book. I think it's only about 270 pages or somewhere around there. So I have about or just under 100 pages left of this book, and I just really don't think I can stomach any more of this today. So I'm gonna put this down, and I'm going to come back tomorrow and do my very best to knock out the rest of this book, because at this point I just want nothing more than to be done with this book. But yeah, the free Kindle books not going so well, but things can always turn around. So like I said, I will be back tomorrow with some more updates. See you tomorrow. Today is the day that I'm finishing this book. Mark my words. Let's get into it. The two words I have been waiting all week to see: the end. So at the end of this book, they got engaged, found out that they were pregnant, and committed to moving in with each other all in the same day, which, I don't know, that just feels like a lot to me. And as far as the other characters and plot points, it all just gets wrapped up with a nice little bow at the end. Let's just say that. It's really not worth my time or your time to explain in depth like what happens. This book gave so much, but also nothing at the same time. And I am ready to start a shot in the bark. So I'm gonna do that. I will update you guys a little bit later when I have something to say about this book. All right, I read a few chapters of A Shot in the Bark. So we pretty much start out with somebody unalived, and it is our main character Leah's boyfriend Luther. So Leah has some like dog park friends, and they are all a suspect because Luther was found in the parking lot of the dog park. So we are pretty much just starting out the investigation process, things like that. To be honest, I don't really like when there are investigations in books. Like, I know sometimes it's necessary, but I think that they just make a book drag. It really does annoy me more often than not. So I really hope that that doesn't make the book drag. But yeah, I think that's all for now. I am really wanting to read a book that is not for this video, so I think I might be done for the day. But I will come back tomorrow. This book is pretty short, so hopefully I can finish it either by Thursday or Friday. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, it is Thursday. I am just about halfway done with A Shot in the Bark, and unfortunately, I am not really liking this book either, but I am now about 50% through, and unfortunately it's much less of a thriller mystery and more of a cozy mystery. And I don't know what it is about cozy mysteries, but I have such a hard time getting into them. I really just don't like them, to be honest. So I guess a little bit of a bias there as far as my opinion of this book goes, but I will say one thing I've been liking about the book today is that there's this like anonymous POV that we're getting now of the person who committed the crime. So that's kind of fun. It honestly reminds me of the You chapters in the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, if anybody has read that. I just feel like the characters in this story are not very well written. I don't really care about any of them except maybe the main character, like just a little bit. I also wanted a lot more like interactions with the dogs in this book, but I feel like we're not really getting any of that. So yeah, I don't know. This is just not a great book. But I'm going to try my best to finish this up today, and then I will come back tomorrow and give you guys my final ratings and thoughts on these free Kindle books. So yeah, cue the clips of me finishing this book. Alright guys, I am going to keep the review portion of this video pretty short and sweet because, to be honest, I did not enjoy either of these books very much. But the great news is that we did not spend a dime on these books, so pretty much nothing but my time has been lost. So the first book that I read this week was The Millionaire's Marriage Proposal by Joanne Walsh, and I ended up giving this book 1 star. It's one of the worst books that I've read this year, if not the worst book that I've read this year. This was really bad. Pretty much no redeeming qualities. I could not think of a single thing that I really liked about this book. Characters, story, writing style, language, tone, pacing. I don't know. I just did not like anything about this. The story is just so outlandish and poorly paced, but it's just not even fun. It's just boring. I think the combination of it being both bad and boring, in my opinion, is really what makes it a 1 star. I would not recommend this. It somehow has a 4.29 on Goodreads. I don't think we read the same book. I have no idea what about that book made them rate it a 4.29, but I do not trust a single one of those people. Moving on to the next book and the final book that I read for free on my Kindle this week, A Shot in the Bark by C.A. Newsome. Listen, last I updated, I was about 50% through this book, so I guess I didn't really give any updates for the back end of this book, but at the same time, it's a mystery, so I don't really want to give everything away. But I will say there were a couple of twists towards the end of this book that honestly redeemed it for me. It was definitely in 1 star territory until I read some of those twists, and that honestly redeemed it for me. So I ended up giving this book 2.5 stars. I think my main problem with this book is that outside of our main 2 characters and the main plot, there isn't any other intrigue to this book. I guess normally with thriller mysteries or just cozy mysteries, any kind of mystery, you've got a little side plot going on or some interesting side characters, something else to hold your attention besides the main plot, and it all usually will tie together. But I don't know, the whole plot itself was a little too straightforward for my taste. And like I said before, it is more of a cozy mystery, so I guess perhaps maybe it's just supposed to be like that because it's a cozy mystery. But yeah, that is just not a genre I usually enjoy. There are cozy mysteries that I have rated 3 and 4 stars before though, so I know that there are ones that I can like. It doesn't happen often, but it has happened before. So that's how I know that I just didn't really like this one too much. But again, the plus is that it was free. So, but with that being said, that is going to conclude my week of reading free Kindle books. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below letting me know anything you want to let me know. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram and Goodreads. They are always linked in the description below. And make sure that you are subscribed so that you can see more videos from me in the future. But for now, that is all, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! In this book,